Okay, it says that I'm live. I hope so. This is the second time that I've gone live, and it's probably one of the reasons why I should do these things, record these things instead of going live. But I hate to edit videos, so this is the way I edit video. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go out now and take you to the right screen. Yes. Ah, gee whiz. Okay. Let me kind of start all over again. I'm going to close out this box histogram, and just a second, I'm going to close a bunch of windows out. I also want to make this a tad bit smaller. Let's go ahead and go back to auto. Let's reset the histogram and just do an auto stretch. So this is the sunspot that I'm imaging, and I have been imaging since 8:30 this morning because there's a flare out here that has been acting up. So I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to overexpose the sun, and these are the rim activities that look pretty promising. I hope so. So let's go down to about that. But if I take you around the sun, the only other thing that really looks kind of cool is this. I imaged this yesterday. Let me change the speed to 2 times sidereal, and we'll move a little faster. But I imaged these sunspots yesterday that are down here, and also the rim of the sun had some flaring going on. I haven't processed it yet, but I did run it through AutoStacker. I just haven't had a chance. But I'm going to switch cameras, and I'll show you what the full disk of the sun is looking like. Let me bring the exposure up a little bit, and let's move this east a little. And this is the same sunspot that I'll be imaging, or hopefully will be imaging. I'm going to overexpose this, and you can see there you go. And these are the flares that I hope to be able to get with the other kit. So let's get back and let's get it reset up, and let's start capturing. By the way, seeing has gotten really ridiculously bad, and you can see the sun moving around now even with this full disk. So you can imagine what it's like with the other cameras zoomed in to 150%. Let me out of the way. Let me move over to my sunspot, which is right there. And let's see, we need to go south and east and south. Oh, we're close. Let me go ahead and zoom in at 150%. And let's fix this histogram so that we can see some contrast. And bring the brights up a little. And down a little more. There are actually 2 sunspots acting up right here. There's some separation. You can hardly see it. Let me change this back to 1 time sidereal. Okay. I'm also going to process this in Lightroom. I'm going to use AutoStacker to stack and create the TIFF files from the videos. I'm going to use IMPPG to do the initial sharpen and to use it for aligning, but I'm going to import those into Lightroom instead of PixInsight. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that my exposure is at 88%. Right now it's at 85, so I want to bump it up to about, let's try to go up to 11.9. It's 87. Let's just go to 12 milliseconds. Okay, we're at 88%. For this camera, this is proven to be the best range for processing a good time lapse, where I have both the flaring activity and surface activity. So, I just saw some cloud movement. All right, let's move this west a bit. Oh, please, clouds. Please tell me I'm dreaming. It's moving back. When it gets to 88%, I'll start imaging. It's 84, so I still have clouds. Ay, ay, ay. Let's go outside and look and see if wrong computer. Okay. This is the telescope that's, oh, there's our clouds. And they just started. Let me see. They're going to come from this direction. That doesn't look too bad. I'm going to wait them out. Huh. It's a wonder I haven't had any problems up to now. The sun's right here, so there's a big one in front of it, so daggone. Okay. I'll show you what I'm using. And let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, this is this is the Solar Scout with the ZWO 1600 on it, and this is the Astro Tech with the ZWO 174. There's the Quark Chromosphere. Both of them have Daystar tilt adapters, and that's pretty much it. This Astro Tech has a moonlight focuser. This uses a helica focuser, so I have to go out and do that by hand. And this is an Astro Tech 65 EDQ, and this Daystar Solar Scout is a 60 millimeter. And it also has the equivalent of a Quark Chromosphere on it as well. So it works essentially the same way, delivers the same kind of an image, and that's that. So maybe the, no, still no shadows, so we're still dealing with some clouds. Daggone it. I have towels covering up laptops. Last night I was able to image all night with the Smith Cassegrain, and see where I killed the grass. I keep it from growing up on my fence. So my wife was saying, "Why did you do that?" Because all around our yard is where I killed it, in the borders. Okay. Daggone it all. I'm wasting good time on these clouds. I'm going to go back outside. Tell you what we can do while we're waiting. Let's process one of them that I've already taken. So let me find Auto Stacker, and let's go to the D drive, 28th. Let's take one we took this morning. I haven't taken flats yet, so we'll use flats from yesterday. So load master flat, and let me see if let's use that one. That clean things up. Let's analyze it. And while it's doing that, let's check outside. And we still have, oops, stopped. Ah, I see shadows. Maybe we can get back to business. Okay, not yet. We're at 60%. And we need to get to 88, that neighborhood. Well, folks, if you're just joining, things were going pretty good. And I've already taken 121 or 22 SER files. I started at 8:30 this morning, and then I got hit with a big cloud, but I still have a lot of blue skies, so I'm kind of waiting them out. In the meantime, I'm processing one of the images that I took yesterday. So let's go ahead and process this one, and let's apply. I want to do 104 points. And let's stack. It says that I have around, this is 50%, I have around 60% of my frames are in the top 50%. And only, where's this 20, it's about 12% are in the top 25%. So let's keep 15% and stack those. Oh, we're getting back to 88%. So maybe we have, let's go outside. Yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. Let me change this to 12.1. Now we're at 88. Nah, that's close enough. Let me move the mount north and recenter my sunspot. And bring it over east and south a little. Oh, we're too hot now. Let me go down to, say, 12, 11. 11's 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. Okay, we're at 88. And the reason why I'm so anal about keeping this at 88% and I'm adjusting exposure just like I'm guiding is so that all my frames have the exact same luminosity, so that I don't have to fret in Lightroom about matching exposures. It's just worth it. So all right, back up, and let's go ahead and start capturing all over again. And we're off and running. And we're at 88. And the sun luminosity changes. This morning I was at 14 milliseconds and at 125 gain when I started out with no clouds. And then by 10 o'clock, I was at like 12 milliseconds at 105 gain. I went and had some breakfast, and when I came back, I set it back up, and I'm at 100 gain, and now I'm at 11.7. So that's how much the sun has changed. I'm already at 87, or I'm back at 87. Let me go back up to 8. And I better pay attention and recenter. So I have to babysit both exposure because I'm going to do a video on how I process time lapses using, oh, my neighbor's cutting her grass. Let me shut off this camera, outside camera. Let's go back. All right. Let's go up a little. By the way, it looks like we're overexposed over here. Well, we're getting close because we're at 91%. So let me bring this down to 6 or 5. Keeps you busy. Both guiding and keeping the exposure pegged at 88%. It's a little bit, actually I need to go down to about 11.4. Yeah, I probably didn't need to do that because I'm going from 87 to 88 now. It's going to be close enough. It does make a difference though. If I'm using PixInsight, I don't care. I won't do this. There's no need because PixInsight's linear fit matches exposures perfectly. But I want to do a video on how, a lot of people don't use PixInsight. So I thought, well, I'll do a video on how I do a time lapse using AutoStacker, IMPPG, Lightroom, and just those three, and PIPP, those 3 software packages. Oop, come back, come back, come back. Saved. Okay. Well, the scene has gotten a little better. Boy, it was miserable before. I was saying earlier, I'm zoomed in at 150%, but you see how the sun is moving around. And when I'm imaging at night and the scene conditions aren't good, then when your star is moving around like this, PhD's trying its best to send pulses. And it's not the mount's problem, it's the scene conditions. And there's no way in the world you're going to have sharp stars and PhD can guide when the sky's moving on you and not the mount. You can't correct the sky in PhD. And Lord knows I try because I don't know how bad the scene really is. But you get a feel for it when you do planetary, solar, and lunar imaging and zoom in on just how much movement in bad scene goes on, and no wonder PhD is sending pulses to make corrections to a mount when corrections weren't ever needed in the first place. We're going down to 87%, so let's raise exposure back up to 11.5, 11.6. Okay. And let's move west. We drifted. So we're getting ready to start another capture. At 8:30, between 8:30 and 10 o'clock, I hardly had to make an adjustment to tracking. I was making enough adjustments to the exposure changes. I'm going to go back to 5. It's worth buying PixInsight so that you don't have to do this exposure monitoring, just to have access to linear fit. Back down to 87. Tack on it. All right, let's go back up to 11.6. We have 150 remaining in an hour, and I got 2 hours left. No, I got an hour and a half left. I won't get them all in. And there will be a big jump from image number 121 to image number 122 because I took about an hour break and went and ate a late breakfast. Man's got to eat. All right, I'm going to go back out to Auto Stacker, which is done, and close that out. I'm going to bring up, let me recenter this real quick before it starts capturing. And let's go now to IMPPG. And look at this image. Come on, prompt. There you are. And 2400, 2.4, 2.2, just a tad bit of unsharp mask. And so that's what I'm hoping to have 250 of. So that's the plan. Okay, we need to go west in 3 seconds to do so. Exposure's going back and forth from 87 to 88. Ooh, look at the scene. So bad. It's easier to manually guide when the telescope is lower on the horizon. Not the case when you're guiding with deep sky. I don't know why it is, but it's harder to control the mount when it's nearing transit. And it's driving me nuts. We got a lot of wind too. So this is the sunspot, and this is the outcome. This is a sunspot that I'm currently imaging. You can see that there's actually 2 of them, and then there is some activity here. I hope I get it over the time-lapse period. And then here's, of course, the nonsense flaring on the rim that I hope I get too. So hope. All right, let's head west. Got 11 seconds left to do it. And we've got get rid of these files. We don't need them. So I have 147 in the can. And I'll be able to make an image out of that, a time lapse. But it's hard to tell. There's 2 spots here, but there are. The way I have set this time lapse up is I'm taking 800 frame SER files every 30 seconds. And my original plan was to get 300 over a period of 8:30 to 1:30. Which should render some decent flare movement, as well as the area around this sunspot, which I got to zoom out for you to see, and as soon as starts capturing, I can do that. We're getting ready to 3 seconds, 2, 1, capture. So if I zoom out, say to 50%, this is the flaring around here that I hope to get, and then the flares out here on the rim. Hopa, 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 hopa. Ooh, we're at 89, so let's go back to 85. Still 89. Let's go to 11.5. Okay, I'm trying to keep all exposures at 88%. I have an offset of 50, which brings me up to 4% over here on the sky side. So this is ample data for contrast. Don't pay any attention to this being blown out. It's just because I've adjusted this histogram so much that but I do that for contrast. I'm going to cancel right now at 156, and I'm going to go back up to 150, recenter. Yeah, reset my reticle, and recenter again. And so let's go back, and we're now at 157 left for 300. Yep, to go back up to 6, 7, to keep it at 88%. And again, if you're just watching this, I want all of my exposures to have precisely, this capture may have enough frames to survive, but clouds are moving in, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get what I want. Let's go back up to 7, 8. It's the cloud. I'm not going to go much more. I don't. Okay, we're good. Wow, the scene's awful. My goodness. Well, it started out good this morning. Daggone, I didn't mean to do that. Been working on a time lapse since 8:30 this morning. I've processed one to show you what I'm imaging. This is the sunspot and these are the flares. I've zoomed in 150% just so that I can keep the crosshairs over this sunspot, and I'm also trying to keep the exposure at 88%, so I need to raise it to about 12 milliseconds to get back up there. I want to expose all of the images at 88%. So that I don't have to worry about matching the exposures in post-processing. Each video is 800 frames. I'll keep about 15%. Scene is ridiculous this afternoon. It was better this morning. Now it got kind of good just then. But I'm going to process, I'm going to use Lightroom instead of PixInsight because I realize a lot of people don't use PixInsight and they don't use Lightroom either, but I'm going to show how I process images for time lapses using auto-stackered IMPPG, PIPP, and Lightroom only. Wow. My exposure's bouncing all over the place. Crazy. And I don't know why. It's a little unusual. I guess thin layers of clouds. But that's what it is. It's just I don't get it. I had some blue skies. And then one great big cloud came over and wiped me out for about 30 minutes. That's when I went over and processed that image while I was waiting for it to all clear out. I have about an hour more that I can image, and I have 132 remaining, and I'll have 300. I won't be able to get them all in. The interval between images is set at about 30 seconds. So the math will allow me to do that. Let's go to 12.1. We're at 87. 12.2. 12.3. There we go. I've been trying to go back down to 2. I've been trying to keep it at 88% for all images. PixInsight is so good because of linear fit. Linear fit will take all of your exposures in a batch mode and process them all so that the luminosity is precisely the same with all of the images. So you don't have to worry about doing this when you use PixInsight. If you do solar time lapses, PixInsight is worth it just for that. And in Lightroom, they have a feature in View, under View, I think, in the Develop mode, where you can match total exposures. You select the exposure you want to match all the rest of them to, and then select the rest of them, but it doesn't do as good. I don't know why. If you're just doing 2 exposures, it does, but when you're syncing with a whole book of exposures, it doesn't work as good. We're down to 84%. Crazy. It's clouds. That image is going to be messed up. I need to go and delete it. It's the 129. I can find it. Oh lordy, we're down to folks, I can't fight it. Go ahead. I can't fight it because let me see what the clouds are doing. We got 127 left. Let's just cancel this for the time being. Let's bring up my outside camera. Let's see how much battery power I've got left. Pretty good. I need to have a bunch for tonight. Oh yeah. That's my problem. Fiddle. Okay, this is the this is what I'm using, the Astro Tech 65 EDQ with the Quark Chromosphere and the 174 camera. It's garbage day in the Oaks, and then this is the Solar Scout. Let's go see what that's doing before I sign off. Shut out of this and well, I'll back up here. Let me go back to 12.1. Not at 12. Come on. 12 milliseconds, not LX mode. All right, now let's go to 12, 83, 12.8. That's good. All right, let's move it over and take a couple more. Looks like we got a reprieve. Recenter. But we're not going to have a reprieve for long. I'd like to get what's bouncing around. it's dropping in just clouds. I'll take a couple more and then I'm going to bring up the other telescope. I take a couple pictures and quit. Okay, clouds are becoming more of a problem as is temperature. It's 105 at the telescopes, so it's warming up. I think it's supposed to be like 93 or 94 in the shade today. Trying to squeeze in as many as I can before clouds absolutely take over. And that could be any time. I'm going to zoom out for the rest of these and reset this histogram. I'm going to have to zoom in some. Because I can't see it. Wow, the scene conditions are just horrible. Bad, bad. I have 185. So, I'm not too worried about crop because I'm going to be cropping this pretty heavy myself. I'm not worried about a crop due to alignment. So I'm really, it's my manual guiding doesn't have to be that precise, just close. And it'll do some cropping, but I've got so much real estate to work with because I just want this section right here. And exposure's been my biggest problem. Having to change it every 2 or 3 images. Okay, I'm going to take 2 more and then I'm going to take a few pictures with the Solar Scout and wind this down. Bring this to an end. Glad the clouds are staying away. I got a mess of them. And as soon as one passes over, I'm shutting down. Just lost connection with Wi-Fi. Had to restart. I think I have 200 images now in the can. Oh, 8. I'm going to take 2 more and then turn on the other telescope, take a couple of pictures with that, call it an afternoon. I started this time lapse at 8:30 this morning, and so I have 4.5 hours, 200 images spread over 4.5 hours. Clouds are becoming an issue. This will be the last image. Okay, let's stop. And let's make sure I have at least 200. I think I have 200 on the nose. Yep. Okay, 200 videos, 800 frames. Let's change cameras. or change telescopes and go to the Solar Scout. Let's get rid of this and let's make sure our view is auto and our exposure, we're not centered, so let's speed this up a little bit. Jumped. Okay. Trying to center the crosshairs, and okay, we can get rid of the crosshairs now. And let's raise the exposure to about 10 milliseconds. And let's take one of about 500. Let's change the name to Scout. Look at the sun bounce around. Scene has just been awful. All right, let's take another. The 1600 capture area I'm using is 2640 by 2640. Here comes some clouds. Let's take another. Maybe we'll get it in. Here comes some more. Be right back, Charlie. Well, the clouds are going to win this one. Yay, yay, clouds. 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 Dadgone it. Oh, well. It is what it is. Let's go see what the skies look like outside. Folks, do you know what this means? This means that I have to stop and then go cut grass. That's what this means. And man, I don't want to do that. Yep. Them there clouds. And they're coming from this way. Yikes. Oh boy. I hope they clear up by tonight. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. The best laid plans of mice and men. Well. Sun came out. Let's take another quick capture. See if my flare still right over here. I've got a bunch of this to stay. Let's Take another. It's really hard to wrap my head around how much this star of ours causes what life's like on Earth just because of this. And the planets. This is the engine that runs everything. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Well, we wouldn't be here to do anything without the nightlight. I wonder if this region is going to cause us any grief or create some cool auroras. This has really been active for the last several days. Here comes the clouds. Do 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 do. I guess I'm about done. I don't want to be, but I don't think I have a whole lot of choice. Well, folks, I'm going to, well, I want to wait a minute and see if it's going to pass. I'll take a couple more images if it does. Yeah. Clouds win. I won this morning, but the clouds win this afternoon. Had a real good morning. Let's try one real quick. Get one more in. The sun is just getting ready to transit the southern meridian. Anyway, I would need to flip them out. I think it transits in the next 5 minutes. So it'll be a good time to stop. I'm going to take one more. These are all dust spots that here comes the clouds, little darling. Here comes the clouds. Okay, well, it's time to park the scope. See what how hot it is outside. 104 degrees at the mount. I guess I'm surprised that it even works at all. Speak this out a little bit and park it. Just go make sure. There it goes. Yeah, we have no shadows, so the clouds are out and about. Yep, that's about all the damage I'll be able to do. I hope everybody has clear skies. I hope I'm going to be able to image tonight. If I am, I'll probably go live. So if that's the case, I'll see you then.